Style has a profound meaning to Black Americans. If we can't drive, we invent walks, and the world will envy the dexterity of our feet. If we can't have ham, we boil chitterlings. If we're given rotten peaches, we make cobblers. If given scraps, we make quilts. Take away our drums, and we will clap our hands. We prove the human spirit will prevail. We will take what we have to make what we need. My community philanthropy friends, these are the words of Nikki Giovanni, which were penned over 40 years ago. While it speaks directly to Black pride, it also is indicative of just what is needed to shift the power, not just in communities of colors, but in all communities. Taking what we have to make what we need is a part of the Black Belt Community Foundation's mission statement. It is, in fact, the reason that we exist. In our region, we have suffered through slavery, through sharecropping, through a violation of human and civil rights, but we have always prevailed by taking what we have to make what we need. In Alabama's Black Belt region, which is called the Black Belt because of the rich Black soil that runs through the midsection of the state, just like a belt, it's that same rich Black soil that made cotton king in America back in the early 1900s. See, for us in the Black Belt region, shifting the power means taking control of our story. Shifting the power is claiming our story in as much as we claim the financial resources. At the end of the day, if our experiences aren't a part of the story, then the story does not, in fact, belong to us. We are the masters of our story. We must reclaim our story and make sure that our story is heard. This is how we will shift the power in the Black Belt region. As the ambassador spoke on yesterday of the Smurf forms of capital, social, moral, intellectual, reputational, and financial, in our communities, we've never really had access to financial resources, but we have always had control over the social, the moral, the intellectual, and the reputational capital that actually contributes to a part of our story. So power needs to shift in the Black Belt region particularly, so that communities which have had decades of double-digit unemployment no longer see that. They're actually jobs for parents, mothers and fathers and brothers or sisters in our communities. Power needs to shift so that all have access and opportunity, so that a child from the Black Belt region of Alabama does not forego a scholarship at Harvard University or Tuskegee University, not because of cost, but because he or she has never stayed one night away from home. Power needs to shift so that communities are proud of who they are, even the mistakes that they have made and the battles that they have lost. Power needs to shift so that communities are no longer left with a feeling of violation, because universities and some institutions of higher education actually come into the communities and research and study again, enough so that they're able to attain large multi-million-dollar grants. And the communities that they're researching and studying never see one red penny of it. So how can we make this shift take place? Well, in the Black Belt, we have a group of volunteers who are called Community Associates, and they're leaders in the 12 rural, economically distressed counties that we serve. These are grassroots leaders who have been organizing and creating change with the knowledge and skills that they currently possess. One of the jobs of the Black Belt Community Foundation is to provide an opportunity for training so that these volunteers are not only leaders within their own communities, or not just for the Black Belt, but that they're also effective leaders in their own communities. This is one way of how we shift power in the Black Belt region. The Black Belt Community Foundation partnered its community associates with researchers and staff of the University of Alabama School of Medicine and their research faculty to learn how to conduct research on health disparities in the Black Belt region. Now, what's so great about this is that research is not only owned by the university, but it is owned by the community and the university. And the community has to sign off on where that data is used, what grants it can be applied for. Community associates are also co-authors on published papers that are going on in many of the journals throughout the nation. This is one way that we shift the power in the Black Belt region. So my friends, in the words of Nikki Giovanni, take away our drums and we will clap our hands. We will prove the human spirit will prevail. We will shift the power by continuing to take what we have to make what we need. Thank you.